Hello, one and all. Welcome to another episode of Baggers Chat. My name is Mitch Pattinson, and as always, I'm joined by Ethan Duffy. And today we're reviewing the Carlton v Brisbane game on Friday night. We've had a few days to kind of just think about the game and kind of let it sink in of what we just saw and what just occurred. So, of course, final scores were Carlton 11 goals, 874 to Brisbane, 15 goals, 10, 100 points. So 26-point loss. We're very used to these 20-plus losses, which is an absolute, I don't even know the word to say because we're so used to it now, Duffy boy. But first things first, mate, how are you? You had your 21st last night. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it because, of course, sickness and stuff. But how are you, mate? Happy birthday. And how was last night?
It was good, mate. It was, like I said to you before, I think it was a good thing to kind of forget about what's going on with the Blues at the moment. Obviously, it takes up most of our life, Carlton, which is unfortunate because we're shit. So, but the night was good and good to be around mates and that and just enjoy myself. So, and then this morning, I'm like, fuck, I got to do the review of this thing. It's all right, mate. But with the baggers, mate, Jesus. What are we? Where are we at this point? We're somehow still in the 8, which is we shouldn't even be close to the 8.
Close to the 8.
Playing. So yeah, bad times.
Yeah, and it's probably a good thing that they had your party straight after the go. I mean, the day after the Carlton go because you could kind of forget and have a few red cordials if you know what I mean. But we'll move on to we'll move more into the actual game. So as we always start off with is the initial thoughts, and I reckon I'll just say a few things that I reckon, then I'll transition to you, Duffy boy. But my first thing that came to my mind was just false hope. Last week after the West Coast game, I was actually thinking, okay, well, they've obviously responded, but it probably shows how bad West Coast are. So yeah, false hope. They saw the dream of maybe that we could maybe challenge it against a genuine top 4 side. Adam Cherrer and Sam Doherty were probably the two guys that I could name out of the 23 that probably could hold their heads high. And the question that I'm going to ask before I transition to you, Duffy boy, is have we been overrating these players more than anyone? So more than the media, more than the coaches, more than anyone? Us as supporters, have we been overrating these players too much?
Yeah, oh mate, like I've been saying it the last couple of weeks, I think it's clear to see we're got ahead of ourselves. I know, last year we were fantastic with the same kind of group of guys, and it's just these guys aren't playing well enough. I think it's our bottom 10 again of our, best 22 just haven't lifted this season. You need all those players every year to just improve, that 5%, 10%. You've always got your stars, but we're relying on them too much, man. Like Curnow, he has one goal and then we're done. If he doesn't kick 5, we're fucked. It's so sad. And like you said, with false hope, we're all happy last week with Charlie getting his 9, which he deserved. But the typical Carlton response to beating a shit team and then having a challenge against a really good side, who, fair credit to them, their pressure game on Friday night was really good, but we just crumbled. Can't hit a target. We couldn't hit a side of a barn, mate. We're wearing fucking high vis jumpers and we still couldn't hit targets. We had bright jumpers. But yeah, it's just I think it's been last year we were beating some good sides, but years prior to that, it's just like we have these big games on a Friday night and they do not turn up. They do not turn up, and it's happening every time with this group of players. And I think mentally they're stuffed. I think mentally under pressure, they're stuffed. Game plan goes gone. Always when there's pressure. With good teams, their system holds up and their structure holds up when they're under pressure. And it's just the way we've been losing this year has been bad. There hasn't been any honourable losses. I know that's a Carlton thing of the past, honourable losses. We took it to Collingwood for 3 quarters or something like that. But this year, have there been a good loss? No. I don't reckon. I reckon there's been about one good win. So Yeah, that's really my initial thoughts, mate.
Yep. And that's the thing now that with this club where we kind of expect us to be in year 8 of this rebuild. Year 8 of this rebuild. I'm going to say that again. Now we're kind of now at a stage where we should be. We can't handle honourable losses. We can't handle 26 points and be like, oh yeah, no, we actually played all right. There was this older man that was sitting next to me on the Friday night game. And I mean, he was awesome guy. I was changing him probably towards the end of the game just because we kind of knew that we were going to lose. And he was kind of touching on a bit about, oh yeah, I guess like we played okay. We're playing against a good side in Brisbane. There's some players who really can hold their head high. And then I was kind of there to be like, yeah. I agree. And then as soon as it kind of sunk in a little bit more to actually watching the game, the rest of the game play out, and him getting out, and then I also went with my girlfriend as well. So she's a Brisbane supporter, so that was a bit of a rivalry. But actually sinking, like letting that sink in, I was like, are we now actually at the point again where we're accepting honourable losses? Like I'm now at the point where 26-point loss to like 5 years ago against Brisbane was, oh, that's not too bad. Like, yeah, I mean, we got young kids coming. Cripper's 28, dude. Cripper's 28. Charlie Curnow and Harry Mackay, they're 27. Jack Savani's 27, 26, however old they are. They're the year after Cripper.
They're all like 26.
Yeah,
25,
so
25.
Yeah, so 25 is now should be their peak of their powers, which, I mean, Charlie Curnow, of course, he's at his peak of his powers, but they still haven't played finals. They still haven't played any finals, and the only players out there probably last night that has played a final, I think by memory, was probably Nick Newman or even a Blake Acres. They are the first players that come to mind. But, yes, just touching on some injuries and, of course, some players that might miss next week. So there was no injuries, which is always good to see. Lewis Young was subbed off, which was a bit more of a tactical move. Absolutely shocking game from Lewis Young. It's like some people will think we're harsh, but now with the expectations that we hold these players at, that is not good enough. Lewis Young to do I mean, you kind of look at it and his direct opponent, Joe Danaher or Eric Hipwood, probably didn't dominate, but it doesn't matter. Because making brain fade sort of errors, and it was just like, how are these guys doing that? So we'll touch on now Nick Newman, which is the incident that was with Lachie Neale when he sort of striked Lachie Neale, and of course he's been given a week. I don't think we're going to challenge it. I haven't heard anything. I don't think we should challenge it just because we need to accept the fact that action isn't good enough. So I think we just have to accept it. And it's quite unfortunate because Nick Newman, he wasn't good last night, but he's quite solid in our back 6, back 7. So to touch on that, we'll now move on to, of course, our CEO. So Brian Cook has come out and has stated that it isn't the end of the world if we don't make finals. So what do you think of that, Duffy boy? If we're now in year 8 of our rebuild, he's coming in, I think, coming at the end of last year. What do you think of that? Do you think in the scheme of where we are as a football club, do you think it is the end of the world if we don't make finals this year?
You know, like I think at the start of the Brendan Bolton era, he was talking about, progression, rather than the win-loss. That's where it's all started. I'm telling you, it started from that point onwards with these players. It's learning. Oh, it's a learning. If you lose, it's a learning. It's like they're 25, 26. These guys have been playing together. This group has been playing together for a long time. And since that, the win-loss, they don't care. Obviously, they care about it, but it's just like this learning, progression. It gets to a point where it's like, just win the game, for fuck's sake. I can't. I haven't read that, and I can't. You just told that to me now first. I have not seen that, and that is bad. That is a bad thing to say. Seriously, obviously, it's not like the end of the world. Like Carlton is finished, but it's like, really, it is. It really is.
Yeah.
Like, we butchered it last year. I don't care how good we played last year. We butchered it. We absolutely butchered. We needed to play finals last year, get the monkey off the back. And now we're in this position where what are we, 4-3, middle of the road. We're probably not better than a lot of the teams, really. Who are we better than? Giants, West Coast, North, maybe not even Essendon. They're probably above us. Today they had a good crack against Port, who are a good side.
Maybe
Seriously,
Hawthorn or
Yeah.
Richmond. But they're all bottom
Hawthorn,
six.
they're,
They're all
they're
bottom.
terrible. They're terrible teams, and we're becoming a bit of like a kind of, well, obviously we're Carlton. We've been terrible. We can get this proud club shit out of the way as well. We're not a proud club anymore. We're not anymore. We're not a proud. Everyone goes, oh, we're a proud club. I'm not proud of my club anymore.
Yeah.
We've seen nothing. We have seen nothing. 20 years of shit. 20 years of shit. But we'll talk about elimination comeback in 2013 for fucking 10 more years. Like, seriously, man, it's sad. It is sad. It's a sad point. I am genuinely sad leaving that ground the other night.
Yeah.
Like I texted you the other night. I'm like, this club means so much to all of us. Me, you, all Carlton supporters. And I said, I'm losing love for the club, man. Like, it's hard to say that, but if this continues, the interest will go down the drain for everyone. What's the point? You pay money to watch a mediocre football team.
Yeah.
I could be spending a Saturday night, at the movies. Just go to the movies, go watch some form of entertainment, and I have to watch that shit.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, it's a waste of my time. I don't book holidays because I can't miss Carlton. I move things because I got to go watch a Carlton game.
Yeah.
My life revolves around Carlton. Maybe I need to change that. Maybe I'm a psycho because we are terrible. And it's just, that comment is not good enough from him.
Yeah. And especially from the leader of the club, like the CEO, to state that, despicable of him, or in my opinion. You said beautifully there just how much this all means to us. I mean, I know that we've kind of started our channel due to, of course, Blue Abroad and Terry. They were like that was a big reason as to why we started this. And credit to Terry and his team at Blue Abroad. I think everything that he's done the past 5 years, 6 years. I think they started in 2018. Everything that they've done every single week, bringing out content, is absolutely fantastic. But I woke up this morning and I'm like, I don't know if I could do this podcast. Just because, no, because if we show our support, we show up every single week. We show our support every single week. We put in our hard-earned fucking money every single week into this club. And what return do we get back? As we mentioned at the start of the episode. But when we spoke about at the start of the episode was, have we ever actually gotten an apology from our coaches or anyone within the club? Like, have they actually spoken in a press conference and actually said, we apologize for our, I don't even know the word to say, just disgusting performance? Because once again, a lot of Carlton supporters, I mean, all respect to the guy that sat next to me on Friday night, I'm sure he would have been through, he would have seen the success of Carlton Football Club 30, 40 years ago. But for him to say, oh, that's okay, it was a pretty solid performance, it's not a solid performance. This is not the expectations that we've put on these players and this club. And when is the conversation now going to shift from not the coaching staff, but more on the fucking players? The 23 players that enter that stadium on that game, in that game, when are they going to get some accountability within themselves to actually realize that this isn't fucking good enough? Like, this sort of football, these performances, these sort of mindsets of entering the stadiums in third quarter, the lack of, I don't even know the word, just the lack of just urgency of really to create something else to get the supporters up and going. It just, like last year, we were so happy because we were like, oh my, we haven't seen this in our life.
Yes.
And us, like young supporters, we haven't seen this stuff in our life. And now they're doing this again. Like, this will be 29. And we're now back to where, I mean, I don't think we're back to where we were 5 years ago. I think we've definitely gone backwards from this point in time. We've gone backwards from last year. But they can still create something and kind of push forward to maybe a finals berth. I mean, maybe to make finals this year, hopefully. I hope this happens. But it just now is, and then also, where has Luke Sayers gone? The president of the football club, he was up and about last year at the start of the year and be like, oh, yeah, jump on the membership. Where's he gone? Like, where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Is he having a holiday? Like, generally, like these leaders of the club where when we need you the most, you need to come out and say, we apologize to our members. We apologize to our, and they always remind us 89,000 members, how great that is, how great that is, how great the sponsors are, how great all this money coming into the club. How about actually trying to invest?
Win a fucking game. Win a game,
Win a game.
The whole point of this club is to win the game on the field, that green grass and the fucking ground. Win a game. I don't like great. The other stuff's great. Carlton respects, fantastic scores, right. All that great. Great. The priority, what keeps us happy during the week is if that fucking team wins the game of football and plays a brand that we want, like we like. And like you said, our leaders go missing. Our leaders went missing on Friday night on the field. Leaders off the field go missing too. And they reflect off it on the field. We're not good enough still. 89,000 members for fuck's sake. And we're shit. Like, we haven't made finals. Like, you talk about clubs like Richmond, 100,000. That's when they're winning premierships. We haven't played a final. We haven't played a final and got 89,000 members, which is a credit to all of you guys watching, Pato, myself, everyone, credit. Because we're there. We'll turn up. There's no doubt about that. It'll be round 17. We could lose the next 10 games. Don't you worry about it. There'll be fucking 50,000 at Marvel Stadium. You know what I mean? Obviously, like I said, people lose interest and the numbers will end up dropping because the performances won't be good enough. But you got to draw the line in the sand right now before it's too late in this season. I can't waste another year. I don't want to talk about trade period. But we might have to because I don't think our players are good enough. There has to be a change. If we can't make finals this year, you're going to have to structure something. Maybe throw out, I don't know. And I'm hearing there's clubs circling for fucking Pito now. So there's, like Pito might go, geez, if he, gets a gig at, I don't know, some club that's rising, maybe an Essendon, I don't know. And he goes, shit, that looks good. I reckon he'll stay. But geez, to the project and goes, we're not getting anywhere. I can get a game there. Why not? So before, we get a little bit cocky and go, they'll stay. But if we keep losing games, they're not going to stay. They'll go. And we haven't seen that at Carlton, have we? Like many players haven't really left, apart from like delistings and, a few trades and free agencies, but not really. This group has stayed pretty tight for the last 5 years. And it's pretty, there's a lot of words to describe it, but it is, pretty depressing, the state we're currently.
And so we are trying to follow a run sheet right now. This probably will be definitely a little bit of a longer episode because it's just saying that we both need to actually get out and actually express our feelings because, and we've been trying to hold off the whole, I guess the bagging of the players. And I mean, me personally, I know that I've tried to do that, but I don't think we're necessarily bagging the players because I think they like within the club, I think they almost have to do it to themselves. I mean, we are just about to touch on the leaders and as you mentioned earlier, I just think that are any of the leaders actually coming up to the players that aren't performing and just saying, that's not good enough. It's just not good enough. So, I mean, I would touch on a few stats that that is just shocking to me from a leadership standpoint. So lack of leadership is the title. And of course, Patrick Cripps, 17 touches, 159 meters gained, 6 tackles. Sam Walsh, 28 touches, absolute gimme touches. I'm saying now.
Garbage.
221 meters gained, 50% disposal efficiency.
At Marvel.
At Marvel. How does that happen, Duffy Boy? How does it happen? And then, of course, Jacob Weitering, 12 touches, 133 meters gained with 4 pressure acts. What is going on? And I'm going to touch on this right now because this is something that from Vossi's press, I listen to Vossi's press conferences every single week. When I was over in America, I didn't really give a shit about the game. Vossi
Yep.
he shapes the whole press conferences around where if someone isn't able to watch the game, I will just
Yep.
watch his press conference, and he speaks so well every single week about what happened in the game.
Yep.
Vossi stated he couldn't have asked for any more effort. Really? You couldn't have asked for any more effort. You couldn't have asked for any more effort where Nick Newman stopped
Oh.
when Charlie Cameron, he stopped, walked back to the fucking bench or wherever he was walking, and Charlie Cameron waltzed into an open goal and ended up kicking 4 goals. Zach Bailey kicked 4 goals as well. And you're saying that you couldn't have asked for any more. That was one instant. I'm sure there was 25
Many more.
plus more. Many more. Jacob Weitering once sat there 4 pressure acts from a leader, from the vice captain of the football club, and you are saying that you couldn't have asked for any more effort. Daff, what is your thoughts on it? Is it really I mean, what do you think? We could have asked for more effort?
It's if you don't laugh, you cry. But it's laughable. That is absolutely laughable. Like, because I got home, I was trying to avoid it all, and then I saw it on Twitter, that clip of him saying that, and I was like, "Are you kidding me? Like, is this like?" I thought it was taken out of context, maybe, or like I was like, and then I had to watch the press conference, and it definitely wasn't taken out of context.
Yeah.
I don't want to be rocking up to games worried if they're going to put in fucking effort.
Yeah.
They're not fucking 18-year-old, pipsqueaks anymore, are they? Like, I'm not. They're paid 6 figures salary. If I'd get angry if my teammates in the fucking reserves at Whaley Blues didn't put effort in.
Yeah.
Like, seriously.
Yeah.
Like, like local effort is. You can be shit you can be the worst footballer in Australia to the best. Effort is the easiest thing you can do. Get the best out of yourself. They didn't get the best out of themselves. And there's so many more problems as well. That's the issue. Like if the effort is there, the game plan is not there. We're not good enough to execute kicks. We're not talking about leaders, Cripper, what was he doing on Friday night? I love him. We love him, and he's had a decent year, decent start. Where is he? Where was he? Like, I'm worried. I keep trying to be in his corner, talking about he hasn't played a final yet. Well, if he keeps playing like that, he'll never play a final. He'll never play a final. You can talk about his fucking ball magnets, fucking have a chin wag with fucking Tom Mitchell during the week. Win a game.
Yeah.
Game of football. Stop being nice.
Yeah.
After the game, having a laugh. I know they're all mates and that. You're having a laugh with Lockie Neal and bro, what are you doing? There's nothing to laugh about.
Yeah.
Your whole fans left the game early. You got to know the right time, right place. Maybe in the rooms, after the game, you might see Lockie Neal at the back. Do it there, but not on the ground. No, that hurts. Walshy, I'm not sure what's wrong with him. He looked a little bit sore on Friday night. He just wasn't moving right. He hasn't been good at all. It's worrying. His ball use is terrible. He opts to handball all the time. And when he kicks it, as he hit it, 50 disposal efficiency is awful.
Shocking.
20 junk stats. Junk. Everyone's like, oh, he played well against West Coast. They're terrible. Oh, you run me through the middle against West Coast, I'd probably get a couple touches. I'm trying to make light of a terrible situation because he's been bad as well. And, and his critics are to come again because, that was his kind of downfall in his first year. He was good in his first year, but it was ball use. And he started to get a little bit better at that the last couple of years. And then Weiters, what? This guy is a number 1 pick. And we know how he can play. That's the issue. All these guys. And I can't say anything because he deserves to be dropped.
Yep.
He deserves to be dropped. It's so bad. It's so bad. And we've got obviously Sam Durden injured, so he has to play.
Yeah.
He's a leader, so he has to play. But why does he have to play? Either him or Lewis Young get the drop. You almost go Weiters. He's been awful. That kick that he took on the wing, I'm not sure if you remember. He takes 15 seconds to make a decision, right? Instead of just go down the line, Jacob. Just go down the line, right? Just a simple kick down the line like we usually do. The shit, down the line. But nah, he tries a bullet pass down the wing. He hasn't hit a target all year. So he tries that, ends up with a goal. I reckon all 5 goals in the first quarter for Brisbane was because of their mistakes. Lewis Young and Weitering.
Spot
I'm
on.
not saying, but I seriously think it was them.
Yep.
We should have been up a quarter time, realistically. But
Yep.
yeah, he's in a world of pain. Obviously, he's been through that scan thing, but it's still not good enough. Like, fuck me, man. Like I said, we're paying to watch these guys play. Like, absolute shit.
Mm. Yeah, and completely spot on. Like, literally, you couldn't have said anything better through that probably minute or two of speaking. That was like absolutely great. And you touched on there about, I guess, with Jacob Weitering, and the whole reason as to why we don't want to touch on what he's been through is it's not football related, so we're not going to touch on it. But I think we always have to touch on it now because it just seems like he is going out there and he has not got his mind on the game and leading this football club as a vice captain. It just doesn't seem like he is lost out there as a footballer. And if he's probably arguably the most important player out there for us, playing the most important position. If he's mentally not up to playing this game, why are we playing him? I would almost rather just have a man down and say, Jacob Weitering is managed for the next 4 weeks. He needs to get his head right for him to come back into this side and make sure that his number one priority is this Carlton Football Club. If he has put his hand up to be the vice captain, he needs to come out and say, look, I'm not mentally ready to play football right now. Us as supporters would be completely fine, mate. Completely fine, because we want you to be out there every single game, mentally 100% and physically 100% as well. And it's just I couldn't believe that the stuff that they were saying. And you were the first person that actually pointed this out that I can remember, that you said that Jacob Weitering put his head down a couple of weeks ago. And I'm like, I didn't believe that. And ever since then, wow. So we'll just touch on a few things. So we had higher disposal efficiency than Brisbane, which is quite shocking to actually think about. So we had a higher efficiency with ball in hand, which I think could be because we're not as attacking as them. So they might be trying to create stuff, and I guess we're just a little bit more safer, which I think the only time that we weren't really safe was that last quarter when we were actually starting to fucking score. So it just absolutely so of course also the dominated hit outs. We touched on Pitto earlier. He is so underrated, man. I reckon he's one of the greatest ruckmen in the comp right now. Definitely top 5. So we of course won that 54-31. I think a few of those hit outs were of course Silvani. And I think Lewis Young as well was transitioning through there. Not so much Silvani. I think it was more Lewis Young before he got subbed out. But of course, we were -1 in clearances, but we were +4 in centre clearances. So of course we won that one, and we only just lost the clearances. We had 25 more contested possessions and 50 plus more uncontested possessions. So just those stats, unbelievable. And of course, to touch on stats, and I think a player that we need to touch on before I transition into you, Daffy Boy, is Matt Candy. So he had 32 minutes on the ground. He was by far our top 5 players on the ground. He spent 32 minutes on the ground. So he had 13 disposals, 1 goal, 6 contested possessions, and 306 meters gained. So you could tell that as soon as he got the ball, he wanted to get the ball forward. So that's what you want to see from a guy who, I guess, was trying to prove to himself and to, of course, the side say, fuck this. If I'm not in this best 22, what else do I have to prove? So, Daffy Boy, what did you think of his performance? And of course, those stats there that pretty much shaped the game.
Oh, I was calling it for it at halftime. Get him on, man. Get him on. What are we waiting for? Credit to him, because he's the guy who kind of drives us forward a lot of the, especially last year, driving us forward. He attacks. He always wants to kick goals. You know what I mean? 13 touches, a goal, 6 contested, and 300. He had more meters gained than Walsh did. Fuck, that's bad, man. We love Walshy, but that's bad. And like you said here on the thing, if he spends 1 more week as a sub, I might fucking run on the ground next week and just go into the box or something and fucking hell, Vossi, mate. Put him on the ground. Put him on the ground, man. What is he doing on the bench? Fuck. We're not good enough to have him on the bench. It's not
That's the thing.
We're not good enough, you know. Sorry, voice almost went out there, but we're not good enough to have him on the bench.
Yeah.
We were killing it. We're top four, you know, just cruising through the season. You know, we're a little bit too good, and he can't fit into the midfield. Fair enough. We're not good enough.
Yeah, we're
To
not.
have him on the bench. He's important, man. Like, he hasn't been superb this season, I must say, but like, he's been playing half back, and he obviously had that calf that he was sore. So he's only played 4 games, I reckon.
Yeah, 4,
4 or 5 games maybe, and that's 2 as a sub, and probably 2 at half back for fuck's sake. So, yeah, and on the stats, like, it's every week. I'm not looking at the stats anymore, because you look at that and you go, we should win by 4 goals. Like, even because sometimes a lot of our games are contested so much more because we get cheap shit, realistically. But then you look at the contested, we won the contested ball. So where are we putting the ball? Like, are we just gonna be in the middle of the ground and do nothing all game with it? Like, is that the whole purpose of footy now, is it? Or like, Vossi's like, nah, boys, just fucking hold on to it. Get a few posies. I need you on the fucking super coach. Or do you want to kick goal, for fuck's sake? Yeah. And then, like, what is it? We kill the hit outs, 54-31. Or Pito killed fucking McInerney, who's pretty handy. Centre clearances, you're winning those, but our centre clearances aren't effective. You know what I mean? Like, we're hitting 45-degree angle. Get it in, man. Just get it in. Like, we always have that one extra handball that we fuck up.
Yeah.
You know, it's like that. We hover like, oh, I don't know what to do with it. Kick it in, man.
Yeah.
Clearance doesn't need to be special.
Yeah.
Need to be special. Get it in the forward line, for fuck's sake. I reckon the only guy I was doing on the weekend was fucking Chera. He was our best by a mile. He will be in the fairest by the length of the Flemington Straight if he stays fit, touch wood. He's game by game. Like that goal he kicked. Tough, got the ball, fucking snapped it. Fuck you, Brisbane. You know, why are we doing that game?
Yeah.
You know, a bit of a fuck you mentality. Bit of a, it's just frustrating, man. And, you know, what are we to do? Like, we got the Dogs next week. You know, we're usually okay against them, but I'm tipping against us in the preview. I'm just gonna let everyone know that we don't deserve to be favourites for any game rest of the season unless it's versus some shit trucks. Lucky we're not versus Hawthorn or something, like at a Marvel or something, because that's scary. Like even a North or something. Imagine after that performance we've got someone shit at Marvel. That's a PTSD kind of moment. But yeah, shit ass Pato. Get Bam Bam in, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. But that's the thing, though. You touch on there about, I guess, if we play against a shit side, this is deja vu all over the game. Yeah. We get the same shit every single week.
We're worried.
We get a shit. It was the exact same game against St Kilda, but it was just against another. It was just against another opposition. It was the exact same game, and we were the exact same. We were just like, oh no, now we're worrying. We play against West Coast. We're like, no, we're gonna lose this game. We're playing against West Coast. Absolutely blow them out of the waters. 108-point win. And then we go into Brisbane. We're like, oh, weren't we strutting around being like, yeah, mate, we are gonna test Brisbane this week. We are gonna well and truly, I guess, just make our stand as the Carlton Football Club, and we are back to our finals reign. 26-point loss to Brisbane Lions Friday night, and once again we are back to this where the ego of the football club is unbelievable. And I'm sorry for Michael Voss when he says it's a lot about Vossi, but I don't think he's under pressure whatsoever. It's a lot more on the players. But with him saying, oh, I reckon Matt Kennedy is a perfect sub. I reckon he's a perfect sub. He can play anything. If he's the perfect sub, why are you... Why is he even... it doesn't make sense to me. And so you say, oh, yeah, he's a perfect sub, blah, blah, blah. All right, well, how would Matt Kennedy feel about that?
Yeah.
Like, how would he feel about that? Because he's saying, well, if I'm only playing half the game, as I was about to touch on earlier, was he may as well just start to talk to his manager, because I know that he will get offers from 17 other clubs in the AFL.
Yeah.
And he will get offers so he could probably start talking to his manager and saying, fuck this club. Seriously, fuck this club. Because if they are doing that where, oh yeah, no, we think you are the perfect sub. We don't really care how you train through the week. We don't really care if you are the absolute the best trainer through the week. We don't care if you are our top 5 players on the ground, if you've spent 32 minutes on the ground. We don't give a shit. We just think we're going to play you as a sub. Get fucked. Get fucked. I'm so over just the whole egotistical of the club, and they come out thinking they are a proud football club. We are now back to square one, where we actually now worry what we can produce on the weekend. Where was last year's football where we would be so excited because we would go up against a Melbourne, we would go up against a Collingwood. It would be like
have a crack.
We would have a fucking crack. We would be brutal. We would be brutal. We would be Kennedy would be in there smashing bodies. Cripper would be doing his thing every single week. We would be so excited. Charlie Connor would be up forward taking marks. Harry Mackay would also be there. Where is that gone? And this is when the question has to go back on to when we lost last year against Collingwood, 1 point, and we got knocked out. Oh, man, we kind of lost our way to get into the finals. Is there any motivation? Well, I know if I was a player within Carlton, I'd be like, shattered. I'd be like, mate, that was a finals experience. I absolutely love that experience out there. I'm going to work my fucking ass off to get back to that. And I reckon they are working hard enough.
Yeah, they are.
They are working hard enough. It's just now
they're not good enough.
They're not good enough. They're not good enough.
We're probably you look at the charts in terms of running. We're not unfit. We're not unfit at all. We're almost overfit.
Yeah.
We're almost overfit. And it's like our skills are terrible. Like it's AFL football. If you're not good enough, you can be fit as you like. If you're not good enough and it's not working, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. Like just, mate. Oh.
Yeah. And so I was about to touch on earlier about how, I guess, I know with me as a supporter, I am embarrassed and I am not walking out. And if I see, because I know with me, I feel like I'm quite reasonable. I feel like I'm quite fair where as a supporter, because there are supporters out there who would be who would be every single week be like, oh yeah, we are Carlton Football Club. We are the best club in the land. And I sometimes see that and I'm just like, I like to be a little bit more fair and reasonable. And I am embarrassed as a supporter because you get weak, but you kind of more think towards other players thinking that. Like, how would Patrick Cripps in halfway through that fourth quarter looking around being like, wait, there was just 45,000 people here. Now there's 20.
Yeah.
but how would he be feeling? Yeah. How would Vossi be feeling? How would Luke Sayers and Brian Cook be feeling? Looking around at 3/4 time, and they're saying all these, and these supporters are just saying, get fucked. I'm not watching this shit anymore. I'm not wasting my Friday night watching this fucking pure shit. And I'm sorry, viewers, with the swearing. It has to be said that I reckon this week is probably a little bit. We just have to kind of go off our data at the moment because it's just not good enough. And the amount of passion we put into this club, we aren't the only people. There are 81,000 members in the club, and there's so many
hundreds of thousands.
And it's just, it grinds my gears. It really does grind my gears, and it's just unbelievable. So, before we touch on, I guess, our best player, which is obviously Adam Chera, and we'll touch on maybe one more player. I feel like we need to touch on this right now before we end the episode. It's, I guess, the objectives within the club. So I feel like the rebuild in 2018 that was made, and I feel like hopefully the rebuild was in 5-10 years' time, or 5 years' time, was stated where we would be in contention, if not already won a premiership. We needed to be in the contention where we are going to challenge for a premiership. Carlton respects, awesome campaign. My word, that was fantastic. Before the game, fantastic. And I'm so glad that the club has gotten onto this because this is an issue that is unbelievable, and we need to actually get around it because this is like it's actually stupid of how we are still talking about this. But great. Awesome. Right. Talking about the 89,000 members. Awesome. They talk about the sponsors every single week where they get money into the club. Awesome. Awesome. When are we actually now going to transition to on-field objectives? When are we going to transition now into on-field goals where we can have a game plan that we can execute every single week and not have our members walk out at 3/4 time knowing that that is not good enough. When is that going to happen within the club? And it's actually a joke. Like, it's laughable. It's generally laughable of how bad it is. So what's your thoughts on this, David Boy? I'm sure you would have so much to state on this. What's your thoughts?
Yeah. Oh, you said it perfectly. I think all those causes, all the sponsors, all the money coming in is fantastic because we want the club off field is huge because a lot of clubs struggle with that. And I was listening to the fan cams, and, there's big, soccer clubs like Man United, Chelsea, these big clubs, a lot of support over there. They're massive clubs. We rival those clubs in terms of our passion for this team is as big as those international clubs. Seriously, I'm being serious. Like, we are an army. Like, it's massive. There's a lot of Blues fans around, We're at uni first year and there were 6 of us. Yeah. Like, we're a big, big club, and Collingwood are the same. I think us and Collingwood are up the top in terms of, just massive clubs. We hate them, but you got to respect the way they go about it. I'm sure they do too in their way. But, it's just, it's unbelievable. We're still talking about what's the priorities here. Like, when's it going to end? When is it going to end? It's a cycle. I read this tweet today. It's like from 2016, got a new coach. We're all up and about bolts. We're playing okay at the start, like in the rebuild. Like 2016, we're okay. Going all right. We knew our expectations were lower, of course. We're playing all right. Da 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 da. Pressure starts mounting on. We blame the coach. Gets sacked. New coach comes in. Bit of fresh air, wasn't it, Teggy? That first Teague train, 10 weeks. Yeah. Because it was that new coach bounce. The players get a little bit excited. Starts to crumble again. Players lose their support for the coach. Gets sacked. Voss starts well. I know it sounds bad. Starts well. Pressure's starting to mount on. And watch. I'm not one of those people, but watch. If we keep performing like this, it's the fans. It's divided. We're divided as a fan base.
Yep.
That's because the performances are so bad that it's divided. And now it always ends up on the coach, which is shit. You know what I mean? I think, obviously Teague and Bolton was probably rightfully done. But how many more coaches do we need? Like, everyone's excited about Voss in the first 10 weeks last year, but then you lose a couple games and the pressure mounts on, crumble, lose, sack. Like, is there even any other coaches out there that we can really sound out currently? Like, I'm sure there's someone out there, but, it's worrying. I'm not thinking we've made the same mistake, but if we come to 2024 and we're in the same position, we have made the same mistake again.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
Forward coaches, Ash Hansen. The forward structure is terrible.
Yeah.
The defense is terrible. Aaron and Hamill. We're all going, these guys are fantastic. We're 8-2. We're flying. Yeah. We are flying. And then now it's like, where's the flying? Where's the...
Yeah.
Just bad. This is bad, man.
It is. But that's the thing. Like, even last year, even when Hansen was, I think he was against the Dogs when he had that.
Yes.
Ash Hansen's going to be an absolute great assistant coach in the next few. But that's what you have to, that's what I have to ask there about the whole coaching situation. How many coaches do we have to go through to actually realize that it's actually not down to the coach? We have changed CEO, we've changed president, we've changed coach, we've changed assistant coaches, we've changed players.
Yeah.
What else is it that we have to change for us to actually realize that we need for us to become good?
Yeah.
That's the question where I'm actually lost as a supporter. Because we think about Carlton's on our minds every single day. Every minute of the day, Carlton is on our mind. And you think, and I've been thinking the past few days, and it's good that we've had the few days just to, I guess, just readjust and kind of just look at what has actually happened and kind of just see different point of views. But that's the thing. What is it that, what else could change? And that's the question to you. Do you think Voss is the issue?
Well, I don't know. If it gets to the end of the year and we're 11th, you've got the cattle. You've got the cattle.
Yeah.
The other players.
But
Got
do
to play
we?
up.
Do we? No, but generally, do we? Because as we said through the episode, we've got Cripps, Walsh, Mackay, Curnow, Weitering. We got that 6 or 7 players.
Yeah.
But after it goes pretty
Yeah.
ordinary.
Yeah. Pretty ordinary. Like I said, the bottom 10 players are not good enough. They're not good enough currently.
No.
You know, I know Dirds and Motts are very, very young, but we don't have any small forwards. Like, you look at today's game for Sydney, we missed the Papley bus badly.
Oh.
No, seriously. We got the
we
wrong guys, and then we get Zach Williams, which we don't fucking need.
Yeah.
We don't need him, man. Oh, he's going to be the midfielder. Played about 2 minutes in the midfield against Collingwood in a prelim. We all start fucking creaming over it, creaming our jeans over it. You know what I mean? We did it.
Yeah.
Still got sucked in. Oh my God. And remember he got reported round 1 that year? Everyone's going, fuck, oh no. Then he comes in for the Collingwood game and can't hit the fucking target with his pink boots. Like, fuck. Like, you got to, like, seriously.
Oh.
And, you know, I've got to say, 3 guys are going to go. I love, it's tough, but
We love all of our players.
Love all
all
our players. But you've got to look at it and go, contracts. Gov's got to go. I like him, but it's just something wrong. It's something wrong. Like, our priorities aren't right. We need more role players. I think Jack Martin's got to go, and I think Zach Williams has got to go, but he won't go. They won't. They won't go. We'll hang on to him now. Oh, he kicked a couple goals against fucking West Coast, and then Jack Martin and his fucking calf that is the worst calf in AFL history. You know what I mean? Like, you got to laugh at it. Like, it's bad. Like, what's the priority here? You look at other teams like Melbourne. You know, they've got these role players like Alex Neil-Bullen, and they've just brought in Cade Chandler, who played twos all year, and he's better than all of our small forwards.
How good is he? Yeah.
He's better than all our small forwards.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, Motlop kicked fucking 4 on Good Friday. Like, I don't care, man.
Yeah.
Do it every week. And I'm just done. I'm done. The priority is clearly not on field.
Not on. And that's the thing, because you mentioned there about Cade Chandler, and it's like, maybe it is the coaching. So we look at every single thing within this club, and it's like, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. Maybe why can't we just have some certainty with what it is that's actually wrong? Yeah. So I reckon we'll probably start to wrap up the episode, because I just think that we've kind of rambled on a little bit too much, because it needs to happen. This needs to happen, where we need to come on and just speak our thoughts and actually see both sides of the story, because we all have our own minds. We all have different views in the game, but I think both of our views are pretty similar, as they always are. But it's just, I don't know where we move to from here. And that's where I posted straight after the game, I posted where to from here. And that's the thing. And there's a lot of people who'd be like, no, it's okay. It's okay. But it's actually not okay. It's not okay. That is not on. So, I mean, of course, we are really excited to see see us play against Western Bulldogs, just for a response. We need to see something. And you watch. We will win. We will win. And then we'll be up against Collingwood. We'll be like, oh my God, we actually have we will be.
They will smack us. If we play the way they will smack. If we can't get up for a game like that, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm officially done. If we can't, we wish shit we could get up for those games. You know what I mean? Like, a bit of a fight.
Yeah.
Collingwood will smash us. You know, I hate to say it. Like, we are boring to watch. We're a sleep fest to watch. Everyone's saying it. We are boring. And then I was watching Collingwood today. Well, I hate Collingwood. I try to avoid anything positive about Collingwood, as you know. But you watch them and you go, geez, like, they've got these, you know, not dud players, but they're all equal.
Yeah.
They don't go star. They don't. You look at our list, for fuck's sake, and it's better than theirs. And people who watch this, who are opposition supporters, will go, no, you're not. No, you're not. We do.
Yeah, we do.
We do have better players.
Yeah.
And it's just embarrassing. It's just so bad. And credit to, you know, Craig McRae and how they play, because they enjoy it. They have fun.
Yeah.
We don't have fun. Weitering looks like he's at a fucking funeral.
Yeah.
When he first bounce, he's at full back. He's like, oh, here we go again.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. Have a bit of a laugh.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's why we were playing good footy last year, because they were having fun.
Yeah.
Kicking goals and getting around each other. And now it's just fucking, what are they going to do at training this week? Imagine walking into training going, fuck. Like, imagine Cripps. He's been through this every year for about fucking 40 years. He's been playing at this club. You know, like, it's too hard.
And I feel like it's just a breath of like fresh air last year with what we saw. Like, it was a breath of fresh air, but it feels like it's the same for Collingwood every single week, where they've got a new opportunity to go out and just show their skills and unite as a club.
Yeah.
And it's heartbreaking that Collingwood, who went through a minor rebuild in 2021, are the premiership favourites, and they probably will win the premiership this year. It's just heartbreaking. So we'll probably touch on a lot more in our preview episode for Western Bulldogs. Of course, Saturday night this week, 7:25. It's a game that Western Bulldogs are a lot better than us at the moment. Of course, they won against the Giants on the weekend, but they are kind of they are better. I thought we were loads. I thought we were miles better than them, but our list is better. But it's so shit that we have to now think what type of Carlton is going to show up on the weekend, and that is just. I'm more frustrated about that. That's what I'll say right now. I'm more frustrated.
No trust. We have no trust anymore. Well, I've never had trust. Well, I had trust. Got the trust back a little bit last year. We got the Giants. We'll knock them off. I know how we play. I know if we play that brand of footy, we'll win the game of footy.
Yeah.
We don't have a brand of footy. I haven't seen a good game this year. Geelong, maybe. We're lucky that we got them then. Imagine if we had to face a Geelong. They would put us into the ground.
Yeah.
But, lucky.
We're kind of flat, but we're also it's laughable. It really is laughable. So, of course, that's probably the last thing that we'll touch on for the episode. Is there anything else you want to touch on, Daffy Boy, for the episode?
No, they don't deserve it.
Yeah, spot on. They don't deserve the words from the Big Daff. So, I mean, of course, the viewers, I think just Carlton supporters in general, just absolutely fantastic how we show up every single week. And support this club. I know that I mentioned to you, Daffy Boy, earlier, and I said I'm not going to show up to the game next week, but realistically, we both know that. So that's the thing, and that's what frustrates me is you kind of say, nah, fuck him, I'm not going to show up, but we always show up. When is the football club going to show up for once in their fucking life? So that's the thing. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. I mean, we are trying to show our support as much as possible, but hopefully the football club can really start to, unite as a club once again and just really start to find their, I guess their, I don't even know, their identity in a way, just trying to find what gets them going where they can now really well and truly go on to be a premiership contender. But, it's been an absolute pleasure, David Boy, as always, and... Up the Baggers!